Psychic Side here on the A1R Psychic Radio Network. I'm your host, John Cappello, and we're delighted to be part of the #1 Psychic Radio Network here on Moonstruck TV and Enlightening TV and a bunch of other places. So if you can't catch us online listening to us, then watch us a little bit later on Moonstruck TV. And while you're at it, just watch a bunch of our other shows too, because it's fun. We try to talk fancy here on the Psychic Side. We have a lot of fancy topics that you might not hear on other shows. And so I'm delighted to bring those to you. And I am a psychic medium from Texas, and I'm kind of an astrologer sometimes. And so today we want to talk a little bit more about astrology, and I'm going to talk about a topic that a lot of people don't know much about, and it's called the part of fortune. And it's one of those Arabic parts of the chart. And a lot of times you don't see it on your natal chart, but it's good to look it up. So I'm going to tell you how to find your part of fortune today, and go through it with you on the different signs, because it helps you with your lot in life. And so I looked mine up before the show, and I was astonished. But no, it's fun, and so I think that you can use astrology to your benefit. Is like I was ended the show last week by saying it's a cheat sheet. And it's nice to know the aspects of your chart to help you deal with all of the challenges and lessons that need to be learned in this life. It's always good to just get that edge. And of course, developing your psychic abilities is very good too. You know, I talk a lot about psychic abilities, and tonight, by the way, we're having our 4th class in our spring series of psychic development. It's going to be on dreams. We're going to talk a lot about dreams. We've talked about dreams here on our program, but I'm going to go a lot more in depth with the class tonight. But with psychic ability, the psychic first sees the past, then the present. Sometimes the present is more prevalent because it's an energy that is more out there, but I say the past because that energy is more stable, you know. And then you see the present, and then you see a future, and that's where you can cheat by looking at astrology. Astrology sometimes gives you a heads up on a person's chart, or where they're headed or what issues they're dealing with. I'm a fan of Saturn. But there are lots of other planets to look to. You have to find out the different areas of the chart of someone's natal chart, and see where Jupiter is, and of course where Saturn is, and some of the other planets to figure out what a cycle that people are in, like what was going on 12 years ago or 30 years ago. And you know, in the case of countries, you can look even further back. And for instance, with the United States, we're able now to look at Pluto because we have completed one full cycle of the zodiac with all of the different planets in it, with Pluto returning to where it was during the American Revolution when the United States was started. So it's kind of scary but exciting times, because we're hoping that the result is something good when all of this energy is over with. We get a little bit of insight every day as we march towards this election in November, and so we're hoping that whoever is elected president, that they send us to a positive future here in the United States and in the world. So we wish everybody well, of course. So. Before we do that, though, I want to just tell you a little bit about the part of fortune. It's what they call an Arabic part, and it involves math. And if you know, the Arabs helped so much in the development of math, and all the symbols that we use for numbers comes from the Arabic. The Romans had their own set of Roman numerals, but generally the world uses the Arabic symbols for numbers. So we are fortunate to that. At least I believe so. At least that's what I've been told. So if someone has something different, then they can point that out to me. But with the part of fortune, and I'll get to our first caller here in just a moment. Um, with the part of fortune, it involves a mathematical relationship between the ascendant, the sun, and the moon. Usually, it involves the degree of where the rising sign is, then adding that to the no, subtracting where the sun is, and then adding back where the moon is located in your chart, in the sign of the chart. Um, and then that's where you find out your part of fortune. So based on the degree that comes up, and based on your natal chart, wherever, let's say it's 10, well, it'd be 10 degrees of your on your natal chart, and that will give you an idea of where your part of fortune is, at least on the equal house basis. At least that's what I looked at. So so I don't usually use the Arabic parts, but I'm interested in learning more about them, and as I find out more, I'll share it with you. But I'm going to talk a little bit about those as soon as we kind of weave in our show today with our callers. And so I want to go to our first caller. Our first caller, I believe, is Regan in Australia. So Regan, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning. How are you? Or good evening.
Well, I was going to say, is it morning or evening where you're at? I'm in Texas. It's afternoon here. So it's morning there?
It's 7 a.m. Morning
7
here.
a.m. Okay, so bright and early, you want to start your day out right. So, but Regan, do you have a father in spirit or a man in spirit you're trying to reach?
I have a stepfather in spirit.
Okay, it seems to me you're fairly close to him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we were all, yeah.
Okay. And it just seems to me that for me, it just feels like he's really happy that you are here listening to a medium, because he wants you to know that he's okay and that he is a big fan of yours. He says that he loves you. He says he always admired you. He says that you always brought happiness to him. And so it just seems to me that I don't know if you took care of him when he was in his latter days, but did you ever bring him pastry, or did you ever bring him any kind of sweets or anything?
Yeah, I did. At Christmas time, I did. I brought him a big treat box.
Okay, because it just it was a highlight of his day, and so he wants me to just share that with you. So Regan, do you have a question?
That's awesome.
Today? Do what?
No question. Just a general. What do you?
A general. Okay.
They have to say.
Okay, it just seems like to me you feel like you've been kind of treading water, or you just are not making a lot of progress right now. Does that make sense?
What was that? Sorry.
That you feel like you're just kind of treading water. You're just not getting ahead like you want to. Like things are kind of in a little bit of a malaise. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Well, sometimes, when we're in this kind of a period, we're making more progress than what we think, because we're in it, and we can't see that as we kind of get through this period, that we're making some ground, whether it be saving or learning or just getting more emotionally prepared for the next scene. So, what is your birth sign, Regan? What is your birth sign?
So I'm an Aquarius. I know all my details actually for my star sign and moon, all the times and everything.
Your sun is Aquarius? Your sun
I'm an Aquarius, 29th of January.
Okay, very good. So am I. And so we're similar in that regard. But Aquarius has been hit with with Pluto coming into our sign. And so it's going to be a little bit of a downer, but we got to get used to that energy. And I don't know about you, but it's been a little bit of an interesting year for me so far, because it's right on top of my sun. So I don't know what degree Aquarius you're in, but your sun is in. But it affects all Aquarians. And so for the next, 10 to 15 years, we're going to be feeling like we are just kind of climbing up a mountain. Okay, so if you are if you kind of feel that way right now, it's because you're at the beginning phase of a transformation in your life, especially where the sun is located in your chart. So now it seems to me that other people are depend upon you. It looks that way, at least. Do you have sons? You have a son?
Like people find me.
Okay, because it just seems like people depend upon you, and
Oh
sometimes
yeah,
it
100%. Yeah,
just feels like people drain you because it's kind of like, can't they figure that out?
yeah, it's the same. Yes, very much so. I carry it. It's like they find me, and then I end up carrying their issues.
Yeah. So this might be that you might have to learn to set some boundaries. I'm not laughing at you. I apologize. I'm
Oh
just
no,
saying.
no, no, that's fine. No, I'm shocking. I'm my own worst enemy.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying that this might be the beginning of learning to set some boundaries. I kind of feel like you need to set some goals for yourself, things that you want for you, because it just seems like you lived a life where you've helped other people so much that in some ways you kind of neglected your own happiness, you know. And
Yeah,
so
absolutely,
this
absolutely.
this is a time for you to learn to be happy on your own and do those things that may have been on your bucket list and kind of let other people fend for themselves a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I've got a court
Okay.
case coming up, a public liability case coming up. Do you see any
Oh,
outcomes with those? Seth?
you have a public liability case. Is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Well, these things are they require patience when you are dealing with a big case like that. And
yeah,
so it seems like you might take one step forward, two steps back, but you're going to continue to move forward with it. So once again,
yeah.
this is part of that transformation, learning to be patient. It does look like there's going to be a positive
Learning to
outcome.
be patient's the hard one, I think, for me. I'm a bull at a gate.
Well, I understand that, but sometimes you just kind of have to let this be seasoned, if you want to call it that.
Yeah,
Sometimes we don't watch a pot of water boil because it seems like it takes forever, but it will, and it does feel like there's going to be a positive outcome, but it does look like it's going to be at least a year or maybe more, especially in
yeah,
litigation, because litigation, there's always somebody that's trying to throw a monkey wrench into the works and slow it down or manipulate it to their advantage. But I feel like you are on
yeah,
the right track with it, and I would stick with it if you can. Okay.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. So I'm going to go to the next caller in just a moment, but I just want to say a little bit more about the part of fortune because, it's just part of that cheat sheet that you can look at and look into. And it's like I say, a lot of natal charts don't show the part of fortune. So I've been learning about it, reading about it, and I'm fascinated with it because it just has a lot of insight. It gives a person a little bit of impetus or a little bit a feeling of security that they are on the right path or may get on the right path or they may learn what tools they have within them to achieve the results that they want. For instance, with people with Aries in their part of fortune, they always like to be first. They always like to be the leader. They like to be the one that is in charge. And they may at times have to worry about being a little impulsive, but they have to make sure that they do the best they can to work with that energy that's around them, and always try to if they want to be successful, they got to kind of think ahead. So that's the interesting part for Aries. And I'll get to a couple more, then we'll get to Sandy and Maspeth, New York. But then if you are a Taurus, we've talked a little bit about patience. Well, that's one of the main things that Taurus is, patience, because they evaluate things. They make sure that things have value. And so they sometimes have to wait for the right moment to come. And Gemini would have to be versatile, be flexible in order to get ahead, because they're usually people that just can't stay still. They want to be into everything, and so that's the way that they're successful. They like to talk to everybody. And then Cancer, of course, is the sign of the nurturer. And so those things where a Cancer personality is most successful is the nurturing, to be emotionally available, and then once again wait for the right moment to make a change or go get ahead. So Leo's once again another sign that likes to be in charge. They are also a very loyal group. They're a group that likes to be or should be magnanimous, and so with that, they're also very creative. They're extroverts. So these are people that like to be the center of attention. And then Virgo likes the detail. They're the ones that do best when they stick to the details and stick to the facts. So this is one way that they are successful. So that's about half the zodiac. So let's go to Sandy in Maspeth, New York. Sandy, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
How are you today?
Good, thank you.
Good, good. What is your birth sign today? What's your birth sign?
I'm a Cancer.
You're a Cancer. Okay. Well, Sandy, the thing about me that struck me about you is that are you a worrier?
Very much.
Okay. Do you worry a lot about money?
Oh, everything. Yes.
About everything. Money is one of them. Okay.
Definitely. Oh, definitely.
Definitely. Okay. Well, it just seems to me that you're also a little bit hard on yourself. You're always saying, I hate to say you second guess yourself, but I'd like to see you have a little more confidence in yourself, because I do think in the long run you do make good decisions. I'm not saying you're always right, but I always feel like you give it 100%, especially when you are doing something for somebody else. Because to me, you're the type of person that believes in other people. And if you care about someone, you'll go to the mat for them. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. So do you have a specific question for me today?
It would be more career-based. As you speak about money, where career is going, I guess.
Okay. So are you not employed right now?
No, I am employed.
Okay. All right. It does feel like for me that you might be looking for another position. Because I just don't feel like you feel you're getting ahead where you're at. And of course, I'm not telling you to just quit your job, but I am saying that this does feel like it's time for you to look. This is time for you to consider a change. I don't know what career you're in, but if you're looking to get to the next level, you might have to change careers. Are you in a career that you trained to do?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So you're not in medical or anything like that, are you?
No, you don't want me doing that.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
I'm in the beauty industry.
In the what industry?
In the beauty industry.
Oh, in the beauty industry. Okay. Well, that's medical because you make people feel better about themselves.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's it. Okay. So do you do makeup and maybe?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Okay. I've been getting a lot of people in that industry here lately, and if the economy turns down, people like you are going to be doing very, very well, because people are not going to give up their makeup. They just aren't. As a matter of fact, that business is going to increase. So if you are working at a salon or you're working at some place that you're not happy with, and I might consider moving to a salon that has higher traffic or has a demographic which is higher income. Is that possible?
Yeah, no, that's always possible.
Okay. So, and then of course, working your clientele. Now, I also feel like you might be doing something on the side. You might get
Oh, I'm always hustling. I'm always hustling.
always hustling. Okay. Do you have any multi-level marketing deals with makeup, hair and makeup, or
Yep,
anything like that?
exactly.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So, so you might get yourself, if you don't have a website already, this is something that I think that you should get. But I hate to say it, I just feel like you've been a little bit down or a little bit depressed. And the thing is, you have this entrepreneurial spirit around you, and it's something that I feel like you need to be proud of, and you need to realize that entrepreneurs, for the most part, they work harder than everybody else, because people that are
Yeah, a little
self-employed,
bit.
they have to work 24/7, and I just feel like your mind is always going, and you're always wanting to help people. That's what. Now, also, it just
Hmm.
seems like you might be. Or do you give away a lot of stuff, or give away your time, or do that little extra at no charge and all that stuff? Do you do that
Yeah,
for people?
all the time. And then I just came
Okay.
to that point where I'm just like, no more.
Well, that's your profit.
Hmm.
That's profit. Okay.
Exactly.
So like I say, you might want to, and I'm not putting down the people you're working with now, but I'm just saying if you can work with a little bit higher clientele or at least raise your prices just maybe 5 to 10%,
Mhm.
then that's going to make you feel a lot better, and it's going to help you feel like you're making some ground. Okay. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I think you do good work. I think your clientele loves you, and I think you're fortunate about that. And so I think you've got a lot to build on because people feel like you have their best interests in mind. Okay.
Sounds
So
good.
okay, thank you so much, Sandy. Take care. Bye bye. So let's finish up with the part of fortune today. And I just want to let you know that, with Libra, it's all about networking. It's all about socializing. It's all about, looking good and fashion and things like that. And so to be wealthier, that's what you should focus on. If you have it in Scorpio, that means that whatever you do has got to be deep. It's got to be something that's about the soul. It's got to be something you're really passionate about, as well as with Sagittarius. You got to have a cause. You got to have something you really believe in order to be successful. Capricorn is all about status. It's all about getting ahead. It's always all about making good decisions to get to that next level. Aquarius has to be original, always something very special and something inventive, and that's a good thing. And then with Pisces, it's all about the imagination. It's all about trying to be idealistic and do something which is creative. So try to find out where your part of fortune is. And one of the things I'm going to be working on very soon, or I am already in the process of doing, I'm creating an online astrology course, and it'll be at least 6 classes. I'll try to make it as affordable as I can, and I want to invite all of you to be a part of it if you want to, because we can do so much with Zoom. I can have 1,000 people on Zoom, so don't be afraid to sign up. But it would be something I think that you would enjoy because I like to teach classes that are fast paced and something you can take away with you. And so, like I say, tonight we're going to be doing our dream class with my psychic development class. And by the way, tomorrow night we're going to be talking about channeling, and that is going to be on Beyond Metaphysics Meetup. And what I'll do is I will record it and put it on my YouTube site. So you can watch that later on at John Cappello YouTube, and so that'll be good for you as well. So we're going to wind up our show today here on the Psychic Radio Network of Moonstruck TV. I do want to mention my sponsor, which is Miracles of Joy. They have 2 locations now in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They have one in Louisville, Texas, and another in Bedford, Texas. I meant to get over there, and I just couldn't get over there this past weekend. Too many things propped up, and I just wasn't able to do it. This week I'm home, but next week I'm off to Houston. I'll be at Reiki House Crystals, Reiki House and Crystals. I think that's it. And so I'm looking forward to that. It'll be the second time that I'm there, and so we'll be doing a spirit gallery and be doing some private readings, and of course my aura pictures too. So last weekend I was at the Holistic Fair at Billy Bob's in Fort Worth, and it just seems that we're starting to get a following there. We've been there a little less than a year, and more people are showing up for readings and coming to my spirit gallery there. And so I'm delighted that I have that Fort Worth group developing, and so I hope to recreate my business in Houston, because COVID just destroyed everything for everybody. So I'm rebuilding that business in Houston, and already it's starting to come back. So I'm very excited about that. So let's see what else we have. Check my little notes here and see what else we can tell you about what's coming up. We'll be going to Wichita, Kansas in the first part of April. Of course, we'll be going back to Abilene also in April, along with Tyler too. So be sure to look for that. So I'm once again, I want to tell you, I'm John Cappello. I'm a psychic medium in the Texas area. Just go to my website, johncappello.com, if you'd like to book a reading or have an astrological chart done. I'm really excited to be able to provide those services to you and to clients. And I also can do your aura photo if you can come by one of the locations that I am appearing. Oh, I forgot. I'll be in McKinney, Texas at the end of this month. Actually, it's Easter weekend, and it's fun to do Easter weekend because a lot of people are out, and the little girls have their bonnets on. They're all dressed up and everything. It's really cute. And they have an Easter egg hunt, so it's always fun to watch the little ones do that. So with that, I want to say so long. Thanks again for being there, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.